why is it important for me to register a business in the Ugandan context?
Registering your business is a very critical and important foundation for you to legally, financially, and operationally start up a sustainable and trusted business here in Uganda.
Welcome to Pesa Talk, where everything money is discussed. So I'm holding my phone and I'm looking at a report here that I would love to share with you. So the report says approximately 81% of the total working population in Uganda is self-employed, according to 2023 data. The high rate reflects a predominantly informal economy, with many Ugandans engaged in subsistence agriculture or small-scale independent income-generating activity, rather than formal salaried jobs. Report number 2 says, based on recent data from the 2024-2025 State of Entrepreneurship in Uganda report, approximately 39% of businesses in Uganda are registered. This indicates that a vast majority, roughly 61% of businesses, are not legally registered. And of course, the report goes on and on, looking at the reasons why businesses are not registered. And as we promised you at Pesa Talk, we shall make sure that we dive into every conversation that has an attribute of making money to it. So today with me, I have a special guest on our show. He's going to introduce himself, and then we shall build up on the report that I just read you. Welcome, Marvin. Please introduce yourself.
Right. Thank you, Paul. My name is Marvin Nobert Lubuuse. I'm a business and tax consultant with Dover Global Consults, where we simplify all your business compliance needs.
Okay. So, Marvin, you've had the report I just read. As a business consultant, let's take it up from what are the different forms of having a legally operating business in Uganda?
Okay, so thank you very much, Paul. That's a very good question. Our viewers out there need to know that there are two literally forms in which you can register your business in Uganda here. You can either register it as a business name, or you can register it as a company.
Okay.
Now, whichever angle you choose to go with, if you move with the business name angle, that's where we shall find things like a sole proprietorship, where you are just a single person trying to register your business, a simple business selling drinks, kucharao, and those kinds of businesses. And then we also find there joint ventures. Here, two or more people enter into a business venture, and you do one or two things where you both agreed on. And then still under business names, we have partnerships. Here is where you find, for example, audit firms register as partnerships, law firms register as partnerships, so they fall under there. And then if you choose to go on the other angle of companies, that's where we find now company limited by shares. Here you have, it's a little bit bigger, it goes beyond just one or two people. So here there is a whole structure. We are talking about shares, yeah? So out of 100 shares, for example, Paul, you could take 50, I could take 50. So that is a company limited by shares. And then we have company limited by guarantee. This is where churches, development companies, people who want to do outreach in societies, that's the kind of company that would suit them. And then we also have single member companies. So unlike what I talked about as a sole proprietorship, there is a single member company. Here, you are a limited company. You're not just a business name, but you're a company, only that it is an SMC. That is how the law brings it out. So beyond that, we also have public companies which we are aware of here in Uganda.
As an entrepreneur, let's look at myself as Paul. I'm doing lots of things. Why is it important for me to register a business or to run a registered business in the Ugandan context?
Yeah, thank you. That's a very critical and important question. But registering a business, most importantly, is to help you legally lay a foundation, legally, financially, and operationally, for whatever that you're trying to do. But beyond just those three critical points, if you're looking at being legitimate, being recognized out there as legitimate and credible, you must register your company. That's when the public begins to take you a little bit more seriously. And also your suppliers or clients, when they know your business is registered, they take you more seriously. But even beyond that, if you want to acquire financial assistance, banks or other financial institutions, they take you more seriously when you are a registered company. So to tap into those opportunities that come with those financial institutions as a business, you must register your company. Then if you're looking at scaling or growing your business, it has to go just beyond an idea, and then you go ahead and formalize it by registering it. So if you want to grow, have continuity, pass on that business idea even beyond generations, then registering your business is the way to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know you've helped quite a number of people start up their businesses by getting them started with the URSB. For those of you that are watching, the URSB is a mandated body that goes into business registrations. It's the Uganda Registration Services Bureau. So that is where all businesses are registered. I just wanted to know, what does that process look like? I normally hear there's a name search, a name reservation, then you pay some money, then eventually you have your name registered, you have some documents sent to your email. Yes, what does that process look like?
So that process, again, it's different depending on the kind of business you're registering. Like I highlighted earlier, if it's a business name, there will be a different approach. And then for a company, it will also have a different process. But what they share in common is there will have to be a name search. Okay? So your company must have a name, a unique name that is separate from the rest of the names registered out there. And after registering that name, after doing the name search, you must have a NIN.
Yes.
If you're a national, and then if you are a foreigner, you must have an alien ID. That could be a passport or whatever ID they give you in your country. So after that, those details are captured together with your national, or together with your telephone number, email address, place of residence, or place where the business is going to be situated. When all that is submitted to URSP, then they issue you with a certificate. It could be a certificate of registration or a certificate of incorporation, depending on your business type.
So based off your experience, what are some of the mistakes that small business or first-time business owners do? I mean, I know you've interacted with lots of people who have aspirations of starting businesses, and majority of them start small, but in their size, their mistakes are they made. So what are some of the mistakes you've seen first-time business owners do?
Well, the first mistake I usually see most of us do out there is once you have this idea in your head that I want to set up a business, maybe in a strategic location you've identified, you straight away go and begin operations, begin investing in branding and everything, paying rent, and push that name that you have before actually being formal. And then along the way, when your name, your business name, is well known by your clients, and then when it gets a little bit serious and you want to do serious, more serious investments in your business, you realize, oh, but this name was never
Registered.
So that's one of the biggest mistake I see people doing. And now at that point, when you want to come back and register, only to realize there are people before you who had already
Taken the
registered that very name, or it is closely similar. Yeah, and it just disorganizes most of the people most times because they usually don't expect another person is using that kind of name.
Yeah.
So that is one of the mistakes. The other is not having proper records. Yeah, I understand from an entrepreneur point of view. We in the beginning phases of the business, you really don't track most of the things. Yeah, you spend on a border here, you spend on this, you just airtime and all these other small expenses you won't track. But it is very important that at that very incident, when you have gotten the idea of the business, you begin putting down your records. Yeah, putting down your records is advantageous in a way that even when we cross over to the tax element, there are benefits you enjoy for just having proper records. So that's the other mistake I notice many people do when they're starting up their businesses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. You take me to my next segment about this discussion. You've hinted on two things when it comes to tax and then proper bookkeeping. So once I register my business, I know there's another body that sits somewhere there in Akawa called URA.
Yes.
So how does URA come into play now? What do I need to do with URA on the side of as a business owner, whether it's an entrepreneurship, whether it's a sole proprietorship, it's a company limited by shares? At what point do I begin a relationship with URA?
Okay, fine. Now, your relationship with URA or Uganda Revenue Authority begins from the incident you set up your business.
Okay.
I like saying URA is one of the majority shareholders in all our business ideas. So the moment you start up your business, they are very keen. They are very much interested in that idea, whether you formalize the business or you have not. So your journey with URA starts immediately, and you formalize that relationship with them once they issue you a TIN number.
Okay.
Yes, and the TIN number is issued to you after you have agreed to terms and conditions that come with that TIN number. So to answer your question, that relationship begins as fast or the moment you set up your business, you are in a relationship with URA already.
I remember in one of the episodes we had last year on business finance, business and personal finance, one of the things that came out was that as entrepreneurs, we hardly sometimes plan for our taxes. Then it's 4 years later, URA comes up and says, also, you owe us about this much. And oftentimes it cripples that business.
Yes.
So what are some of the taxes that we need to be very aware of as we start out this journey of formally registering our businesses? What are some of those, either one or two taxes that we really need to pay attention to?
Okay, now for everybody out there who is beginning or wants to start up a business or register a business, you must be aware. Educate yourself about one or two things relating to tax, because if you postpone educating yourself about tax at inception of your business, it will always catch up with you later. And the cost you pay later is high. Sometimes it goes with your business. Yeah. So one thing is I encourage everybody to educate themselves about tax. These taxes are very many, honestly speaking, but every business has its line of taxes.
Okay.
All right. It's not a one size fits all, but you need to know, depending on the kind of activity you're going to engage yourself in, If it is mining, if it is transportation, if it is food business, before you start, you have to know what kind of taxes am I headed for. So in general terms, I would simply say there is what we call business or corporate tax. This is the one at a rate of 30% for I would say majority of the businesses that we do as Ugandans here. So there is that. Simply put, it is the tax on your profit, your annual profit. Not a monthly profit, not a daily profit, but your annual profit.
Okay.
Yeah. And then maybe if I could add, the other tax that we interface along when we are transacting is VAT, or value-added tax.
I think that's a common one.
Yes.
There's a famous restaurant I love going to. They charge VAT on their meals. So
Yes.
I'll not mention their name, but yeah, for those of you that don't know it.
Yeah. So there is VAT, but then if I could go back to the other one, for smaller businesses, that corporate tax is divided into, you could say, presumptive tax.
Yes.
Small business tax. All right. So this is the one where even those who don't keep proper records, we can make an assumption. Like you hear the name presumptive.
Presumptive.
All right.
It's presumed.
It is presumed that you make so much. Okay. For those who don't make, who don't keep proper records, right? And when you look at the tax component, those who keep records pay slightly less compared to those who don't keep
records.
Yes. And maybe I would also add, we only assume for you if your business makes sales turnover of between 10 million and 150 million within a year. Yeah. Beyond that, you are swimming in different waters, and the law applicable to you would be different.
We'll catch up with you. So,
yeah.
a little bit on withholding tax. When is withholding tax applicable? For some of us that have done a bit of business with corporate entities, there's normally that 6% withholding tax. When is it applicable?
6% is applicable. It's a tax everybody. Maybe if I could say, withholding tax means that person is an agent of URA. All right? They are an agent of URA to remit tax on that transaction. They are dealing with you, yeah, on their behalf, because URA may not be there at that point in time. But whoever you're dealing with at that level is an agent of URA. So on your annual tax, which we were talking about earlier, the 30%, URA says, okay, we know there may be other expenses it's going to incur, all right? But there is a tax component amongst those expenses. So can you give us that 6% now? Then later at the end of the year,
balance ourselves.
They can balance themselves and tell us, you know what, this is the profit that I made and the resultant tax that I paid. Meaning it would help you in the end, at the end of the year, if you're to pay out of your 30%, there is always that 6% already. So before you pay, we net off that 6%. That is withholding tax. Yes.
It's like an advance tax to URA.
Correct. You have paid your tax in advance.
Makes sense.
That is it.
Makes sense. So you've looked at the statistics. If we are going to encourage people to go very formal, one of the things is that having headcount or hiring people to do this kind of work, or having a permanent finance or a tax person or someone in finance and accounts to just do this, sometimes may become very, very expensive. From your view and from your experience, speaking from experience, what are some of the practical ways a business can remain compliant without having a full-time resource doing interaction with URA?
Yeah, you're very right, Paul.
Yes.
An accountant or a dedicated tax person to handle your books can be costly, and understandably so for most businesses. But there are ways, if you want to to reduce on that budget in your business? First, like I said, you'll have to educate yourself about the taxes. All right. Most of our things at the moment are online. You can do so much online, right? So if you educate yourself, perhaps you can be able to file. There are some technicalities, but at least the simple things you can be able to file. And then secondly, if you don't want to, if you want to scale down on your budget for a dedicated accountant, you could go into an arrangement of on demand, on demand services, all right? Only that at that point where you need him, that's when you bring him on board. Okay? For a small business, there may not be so much to do, all right? As long as you have your proper records. And actually now that's the other point.
Yeah.
Keep proper and accurate records. You get it? Yes, because that is what your bookkeeper will do. They will write down your revenues and then record your expenses. So if you can do that, you go for it. And then there are free apps that we can use as well.
Okay.
So there are very many, but one that I'll give out here is Microsoft Excel. You can acquaint yourself on how to just capture those things, all right? Or there are very many downloadable apps on Play Store or on the people using iOS. So all those are channels for you to go into in case you don't want to have a dedicated resource.
Okay. Yes. So when it comes to returns, there and just like our viewers, I want to be educated. Are there returns that are filed with URSB? What are those called? And then are there tax returns that are filed with URA at the end of the year? In us trying to push the narrative of doing business in a compliant way, I think it would be very important for our viewers to just understand what are those returns. There's an annual return somewhere, there's annual filings, I don't know what they are called. You are the expert, yes. Okay,
so yes, and we have built up this very well. Yes. When you're starting up your business, you must educate yourself about what you're going to be compliant about, okay? Because when you're registering your business, you go to URSB, like I said, and then in the process, they'll give you a TIN, which is with URA.
Yes.
Okay, now, when they're giving you both these things, a certificate of registration from URSB or a TIN from URA, you're signing up to terms and conditions, all right? So those terms and conditions are the return filings that you're talking about.
Okay.
All right? They are more like obligations for you to fulfill. You don't just register or be given a certificate and you go and throw it in your wardrobe and then wait until when one day a big business comes calling. Okay.
That's when you wake up.
Yeah. There are obligations that come with both of those things, and like you have ably said, the return filings.
Yes.
For URSB, you have an annual obligation depending on the date when you have registered your business. So your year, you make a year on that very date each time, every year, for you to register that return with URSB. And then with URA, I would say, depending on the tax that you're registered for. You get it? I said every business has a different tax type that they are registered for. So depending on that, you'll have a different deadline, okay, or obligation. If you're registered for VAT, pay as you earn, withholding tax, all these are monthly obligations. By the 15th of every subsequent month, you should have filed those returns. Failure to do so, a penalty will catch up with you. And at the moment, I would say a minimum of 200,000 shillings for each, not for all failing to file all of them, but for each. So imagine you're registered for everything and you miss just 1 month. That is 600K before you even talk about how much you've made in your business. Okay? So, and then there is another, a final return, which is filed at the end of your year.
Okay.
But before the year, you need to give in an estimate or a provisional of how you expect your year to be.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, that is that around returns.
So you mentioned something about the processes being very digital. Apart from URSB and URA, is there any other government body in between there that the business owner would be interacting with?
Yes, yes. All businesses operate from somewhere.
Yes.
All right? And there is always an authority.
Yeah, true.
Wherever
true,
you choose
true,
to operate from in Uganda, within
Mm.
the boundaries of Uganda.
Yeah.
So that means there is a local government authority. All right? For
A
people
KCCA of
operating
sorts,
in Kampala, we shall have to report to KCCA. For people operating in Jinja, there is a town council there. You know, cities, now we have very many cities.
Yeah.
So all those authorities, they require you to be compliant with them to operate your business. You get it?
We are talking now trading licenses for
Yes.
the place where you are.
Yes.
Okay,
We're talking
so
trading licenses, we're talking operational permits as well. You know, if you're going to deal in a restaurant,
Yeah.
you don't just give people food anyhow, all right? There are people at the local government level who
Yeah.
would want to know the kind of food you're giving out to the public. So all those people you have to be compliant with.
Interesting. So for an entrepreneur out there, someone planning to start your business, if you've done the mistake that Marvin, our guest here, just spoke about, you're already running this business, it's making a bit of cash, you've never registered it, now is the time for you to think about, one, where you're operating, if you need a trading license, if you need an operational license or permit, depending on the industry or field you're in, if you have a TIN number, which is normally a tax identification number, so all your taxes are going to be pegged to that one number all through your transactions. It's very important for you to just make sure that you're structured in that way. Otherwise, one day you're going to get a very big deal that you can't execute and you'll begin asking me to do business on your behalf and I'll steal your client. So if you do not want to go around crying on social media, better do business the right way. Start off on the right feet, start off using the right things, ensure you're licensed, you're registered, and then maybe what we didn't mention here is that there's PPDA. If you're interested in doing business with government or public bodies, there's a PPDA license that you'll also need to get. And I remember Marvin here helped me just go through that process, and that is the reason why you need a business and tax advisor. So people like Marvin here are here to help you achieve such things where you do not understand where to go, the processes around URA, filing, getting a TIN number, you're having issues recovering your password, you're having issues getting your username and things like that. And that's where now people like Marvin come in. So Marvin, at Pesa Talk, we have a culture. We call it a culture because it's something we encourage all our guests before we sign out to share with us. What is one of those very bad money decisions that you've made that were a lesson to you up to now?
Okay, money decisions. This is a very sensitive area,
Yes.
perhaps, which I'm still myself navigating.
Yes.
But I would say one thing that I keep interacting with is a mistake I do every once in a while maybe is probably spend my money before I have thoroughly thought about it. Yes. Once in a while, you'd say that is a bad money decision for me. Yeah, but I like living on a budget most of the time, but once in a while, you get out of hand, and I feel every time I revisit it, I'm like, oh, maybe I could have done better. Yeah, so that's it.
I'm actually in one of those moments. I recently bought myself a new phone that I've not unwrapped. It's been 4 days, and I've been asking myself, did I really need that phone? Because I mean, it's 4 days later. The phone is still in a box. It never gets real. It never gets real. And the thing about money is that it's really discipline. You fall, you stand up. You fall, you stand up. You keep building that discipline. Even for ourselves, that people look at and think we've mastered this money game, we always fall and get back every time. So what we're trying to say here is that it will not be perfect. That journey of your relationship with money will not be perfect, but you always have to dust it off and get back up and ensure that you're chasing after that paper and you have a structured way to manage it and even multiply it. So Marvin, your parting shots to our viewers, those that want to reach out to you, how can they get you? You mentioned the company you work for, you do tax and business consultancy. It would be nice for someone on this podcast today to just pick a number or email address. Email address would be preferred. I don't want people calling my guests. They will make it hard for me to bring more guests. So an email address will be preferred for you to reach out to Marvin in case you need help with registering your business. You're already into that trap. You need help getting around URA or URSB or PPDA. Marvin is going to be your guy. So Marvin, your last words to our viewers.
Right, thank you, Paul. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk to our viewers about business and tax. I do encourage them to reach out to us at Dover Global Consults. We shall simplify all your business compliance needs. You can reach out to us on email. It is Dover Global Consults at gmail.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe if you could spell that Dover, just spell the email for them.
Okay, the email is DOVA and then consults. Sorry. Dover Global Consults at gmail.com.
Okay, so you heard it from the man himself, Marvin Nobert. He has been our guest for today, just trying to ensure that as we come here and tell you about entrepreneurship, about money, we're doing things the right way. These are called brilliant basics. Having your business registered and taking off on the right footing is a brilliant basic. It's not one of those complicated things. But as we promised you, that if it has an association with making money, we shall talk about it. Because we are Pesa Talk, we talk about everything that concerns money, and we ensure that everyone is going to have a financial wellness. Thank you so much. I remain your host, Paul Businge. It's always a pleasure having you on the different episodes. Please ensure you spread the gospel. Share this message with someone that you feel needs it. Subscribe. Always just have it on your status. Until next time, see you. Bye.